A few months later, we were told that Ron Howard is now taken over and that there's going to be reshoots done.
In my final interview from the annual Star Wars Fan Fun Day in Burnley, I spoke to Kenny Lee about mudtrooping in Solo, military training for The Force Awakens, and getting snubbed for The Rise of Skywalker.
But unfortunately...
Oh, you didn't get a call? Sorry to bring that up.
Awkward.
Kenny Lee.
How you doing?
Welcome to my disappointing presence.
The honour is mine, so thank you for having me.
Will you say that now? In 3 minutes' time,
Ooh,
you'll have a different opinion.
Should I be afraid?
No, don't be afraid.
Okay.
Do not be afraid. You're like collecting Star Wars credits. It's like some sort of amazing hobby, I suppose, at the moment. So we've got Force Awakens, Stormtrooper, First Order Stormtrooper.
Right. That's right.
Solo, Mudtrooper.
Yeah.
I missed out Rogue One.
Yes, you did.
I did miss out Rogue One. Last Jedi?
No, unfortunately I wasn't in that one. So it's just the three. Force Awakens, Rogue One.
Just the three. Just a trilogy of credits.
What it is that I was actually on another film production at the time. So the filming schedule clashed. And because I'd started that movie earlier on,
I couldn't be released.
Yeah, I couldn't be released from there, and so unfortunately I couldn't get to do Last Jedi. So.
Were you available for The Rise of Skywalker?
I was available, I really was, and I was really hoping that they'll call me, but unfortunately...
Oh, you didn't get a call? Sorry to bring that up. I'm sorry, but you'll be back.
I hope so.
The Rise of Kenny Lee. That's next. Skywalker then Kenny Lee. This might come down to personal comfort levels, but do you have a favourite Star Wars role that you've played?
I'd probably say Mudtrooper and Solo, because I got the chance to do more sort of stunt work. Even when I was on Force Awakens, before we started filming, they put us through a military boot camp. So we had like 2 weekends spreading out in 4 weeks, and we got to learn how to use firearms, stage combat, a little bit of hand-to-hand combat, and a bit of stunt work, and then learning military drills. And that in itself was enjoyable because you see how your stamina level is, and that whether you're capable of doing the role. Everything that I've learned from that, I got to put that more in Solo because I got the chance to do some sort of basic stunt work and using more firearms. Yeah, my face wasn't covered, you know what I mean? So I got a chance to see myself and say, yep.
So the outfit was probably comfier, I guess, the Mudtrooper outfit?
Absolutely.
With the Solo Mudtrooper scenes, was that on location somewhere, or did they build a mud bath at Pinewood?
Basically, they built a huge Badlands in one of the studio lots.
Right, okay.
Yeah, and it was massive, and then there's a lot of dirt, dust, a lot of dust. So like in between takes, you'll see us wearing like face masks. You know what I mean? So we don't breathe it in. But it looks so realistic because they built huge craters. There were a lot of pyrotechnics. Fire flames, and a lot of rope and string work, especially with some of these stunt actors. So it was, you know what I mean. So it really does look like you're in the middle of this huge swamp. So,
like, obviously the production for Solo had its politics offset. Were you involved with the Lord and Miller version or the Ron Howard version, or both versions?
Both. I mean, we started with the Lord and Miller version. I mean, they were great to work with, you know what I mean? So they seemed to come up with a lot of ideas and what direction they wanted to take it. A few months later, we were told that Ron Howard is now taken over and that there's going to be reshoots done. So I was involved in the reshoots as well, but it wasn't as long as it was before. With the reshoots, it just took about maybe a week to do, whereas previous, we were on there for like a good 2.5 months. So, but they still use both footage, you know what I mean? If you actually,
you could tell that.
You can clearly tell that, you know what I mean? They use both footage, so just edit it down. So.
But did the vibe feel different because people were saying there was a little bit more focus on laughs with Lord and Miller, and then slightly more serious with Ron Howard. Did the direction feel different?
Me personally, I didn't see or I didn't feel like there was any sort of change in dynamics. Being that it was Ron Howard, I was like, yeah, that's Richie Cunningham. And he's a great director to work with, and so I really, for me, I can only talk for me that I didn't feel that there was any change of dynamics of with it being more serious with Ron Howard or a bit more funny, but it was. Both an enjoyable experience.
Yeah, 2 films in one you worked on, basically, didn't you? Extra week's work as well, so you did all right out of it, really.
I didn't do too badly. You know what I mean? I'd love to do it all over again.
Well, I'm sure, like I said, the rise of Kenny Lee is coming next. Nobody's really gone. Luke's got it himself.
Watch his face, yeah?
Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Jamie Stangram told me to do this, because he's a ridiculous human being, which I've discovered in a matter of a few minutes.